and encore. Your love, you're so good, so good. Deserves an encore. What's up, everybody? Y'all wasn't ready for that. Y'all wasn't ready for that. I know y'all wasn't ready for that. Like, whoa, he's in a good mood. Man, I'm always in a good mood, even when I'm not. Because I know where I'm going and what I'm here to be. You understand? It's Joseph R. Wheeler III, the artist, the founder, the president of the ONYXCON Foundation. What? I'm wearing the old school bling. I need a new one of these shirts too. I admit this one here is starting to, it's starting to get that wear and tear to. It's got a lot of character, you know what I mean? It's not like a lot of character to it. It's been naturally distressed. It went through life, you know what I mean? But yo, what's up, everybody? How y'all doing? Broadcasting live from the ATL areas. I said areas, the metro, the all-inclusive. You feel me? All my real ones know what I'm saying. Every county that borders Fulton, how about that? The true metro. I said every county that borders. Put all that together, you get ATL energy. You understand? That's what we're doing up in here. What it is, what it ain't, what it gonna be like. So, check it. It's a sunny, beautiful, and I do mean beautiful day. Days like this charge me because I like the sun. I don't like when it's too rainy for too long. I understand rain gotta come. Can you stand the rain? Can you stand the rain? Can you stand it? Yes, I can. Been through too much of it. It ain't no problem. When the sun come back out, it all helped me grow. What? Yes, indeed. I don't mind rainy days. Like I say, rain's supposed to happen. I'd be upset if we didn't get no rain, but it's been storming lately. And we got clouds in the sky now. Even on this sunny day, look like, later on tonight, I'm gonna shut it down again. That's what's been happening. It's been like, for the past few days, it's just like storm. Either sometimes in the day, all day, or right at night. Last night we got it real. It was a shower for real. Thunder, lightning, all that good stuff happened. But today looked like it's gonna stay sunny most of the day, and I needed that. I appreciate that. Universe bless. Universe best, bless. Rah! Shining on me. For those who understand, put it in the comments for those who may not understand. If you know the lingo, you know the logistics of the historical reference here of everything I'm saying when I say rah. Okay? Come on. Anyway, it is a day, y'all, that woke up kind of hyped because I'm doing my courier thing, you know what I'm saying? I always say the day it ain't gonna just be a fashionable expression, but a historical statement of where I've been and what I've went through to get where I had to go. Y'all gonna know, because I got a plan for this and some of my other gear that represents that side of life of doing courier work and everything. You gonna know. We're gonna have a celebration when a brother ain't gotta do none of that no more. When y'all who are part of the monetization nation, which by the way, we are now at 1530. I'm gonna say that again for all my real ones in the house, because y'all part of that number. 1,530 and counting. Because as I said, it could have went to 35. It might be at 40, 1540. Who knows? 1550 might. Wake up one morning, we done hit 2,000 overnight. It's like that, and I appreciate y'all. All the real ones. That's the only ones I'm talking to. All the, come by. What is this guy talking about? Troll ass punk mom. They don't exist. They don't exist. They don't exist. But my real ones, the ones who watching content, the ones who comment respectfully, always got something positive, something good energy to say, loving what we putting out, understanding the concept. They get this whole multi-niche thing. They get that you don't get just one thing here, you get multiple things. Thank you. Yes, you, the real ones, thank you. Everybody else, what you over here for, shawty? Go on somewhere. For real though. Everybody else, what the hell? We don't need you. If you ain't hitting that subscribe button, we don't need you. That's real talk. Because we don't need fair weather friends. We need real friends. We need real friends in this. We're in a serious time of serious gratitude, fortitude, longitude, and latitude. We need worldly minded people who understand we won. You know what I'm saying? That universal human family consciousness, that Pangea state of mind. That's what we call it, the Pangea state of mind. That's something I created a long time ago when I discovered about, well, personally discovered it, long been before human existence, what they call Pangea, when all the continents, everything was one big supercontinent. And symbolically what that represents to me is like, yo, it's all one. Like they don't get no deeper than that for me. You know what I'm saying? It don't work for everybody. It ain't supposed to. It's only for the right ones. ONYXCON ain't for everybody. It's only for the ones who get it. We here for the ones who get it. And obviously 1,500 plus of y'all get it. Again, thank you. That's the real ones. That's the real ones. So yeah, we're gonna keep doing right on what we do, y'all, because it's definitely, it may be slow growth, but it's true organic. And when we get where we going, it's gonna be just more fortified because it was real, because it was organic, because it was people who really loved it, not just people who want to, ride the tailgate and hang out a little bit and then dip off. No, we got folks who down. You understand? Down, up, side to side, they with us. That's the kind of folk I'm talking about. Y'all know who you are. Thank you. So, I been watching lately. Let me tell y'all, I've been watching. It's funny. I gave it enough time to watch it, and it feels new again. But the show Insecure, Issa Rae's show, that was on HBO Max for years. Of course, it's no longer on. It had like 4 or 5 seasons, a lot of seasons. It really did a nice run, considering, because some shows don't make it past 3 seasons, even 2, even 1. I mean, come on. And I'm in the film business. I know how serious that could be. It's up and down and all around, But that show is so hilarious, and I forgot how funny some jokes is about to get taken off. Like, how you go on Netflix and they say, this show, got all the different contracts. This one's about to go off. You only got this many weeks to watch it. I said, oh, hell, damn. Well, hell, let me start this now. So while I got it, I can enjoy it again instead of, and I don't like being rushed to do nothing, but I just have, when I tell you that show be having me, I be laughing so damn hard at some of them scenes because I forgot. I mean, I even see new stuff. You know how you watch something again and you like, oh my gosh, how did I not see that the first time I watched this or whatever? The extra jokes. Because this is the kind of show where a lot of people say little stuff under their breath and stuff. That's part of the natural jokes of Issa's style and her staff, her writers. Like somebody, it's real. It's just real. It's the way people really are. Like if somebody throwing shade or whatever, but it's their supervisor and they don't want to get no conflict because they don't want to lose their job. They'll be like, shit, your stupid ass, if you just do this, we may be all right. It's the real stuff that people do and be funny as hell. And then all the relationship-based stuff. Oh my gosh. Y'all know we have this part of ONYXCON. Again, only speaking to the real because y'all understand what we do here. Amidst all the other things we do from style, fitness, outdoors, movies, television, okay, which I'm covering now, ONYXCON Film Festival vibes. But, I love that the show has, it fits right in, literally right in with relationship goals in the art life. Because if you're really watching the show, Issa's character is saluting the arts through the whole show. She's living the art life to the absolute max. I'm telling you, I watched this show and I remember why I loved not only it, but, I had my moments with it. At the end of the day, it ain't fellas, it's not a chick flick, but it is a chick show, so to speak. It's from the ladies' perspective, but it's enough strong male characters and our perspective is represented too. And that's what I liked about it. It's balanced. It's not like, yes, the heroes of the show are definitely the ladies. Now, I'm cool with that. I always respect the ladies first, all day, any day. But I like that it's balanced. It's like it literally shows, okay, if there's a breakup, you get both people's perspective. You don't just get it one-sided and one person's complaining, dogging the other person out and making it seem like they didn't do this and do that. It shows the flaws across the board. And for Issa and her team as writers, because I know it wasn't just her writing, but I still give her credit as executive producer, and this is her original concept. That was originally based on The Adventures of Awkward Black Girl, which was here on Netflix. Not Netflix, on YouTube. Okay, it was her original thing when she was really doing it guerrilla style. Like, you know, you get out in the field, no permits, no nothing, your camera phone, your whatever friends can help, and y'all make a movie. I know about it because I done it, you know, so I know what that life is. And she did it in LA. She's from LA, so that's just awesome. You know, she represented her town, she represented her friends, she put her friends on, her friends put her on. Shout out to Black and Sexy TV, another part of the whole family of all those different actors and everybody that she's connected to. And yeah, man, it's just like, I was watching it, I was even laughing, looking and seeing people doing background. And for those who don't know, you know, official terms in the film biz, background artist is the equivalent, is the same as when, well, not exactly the same, not in a orthodox sense, but if you say background artist, that's the formal term. People say extras casually, but in the biz, extra can be kind of either casually said or it can be the insult. Because no one wants to just be an extra, because extra is just like, oh, you know, you just something extra we need in the scene. No, everybody's needed, you know. So there's some sets I've been on where they don't even use the word extra, and that's rare because most of them they will, but it's also the slang. People just say BG, meaning background, you know. And it's so important to the scene. But the bottom line, there was a lady, I'm forgetting her name, but I can see her face. She's beautiful. She's a model, she's an actress, she does a lot of stuff. She always plays the hot girl. And she was in a scene where they were in Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles, which has multiple locations, but they were in one of the famous, I think they were in the original one. Or I think the one off of, if it's not, forgive me, LA people. I just do know that's one of the oldest ones if it's not the original. But anyway, they were in there, and she gets up to walk, and I laughed so hard because it was one of them days where you could tell they did the scene. They had to do multiple takes like they always do for a scene. A scene could be less than 5 minutes, but took a whole day to shoot, and that's what most people don't understand about the process. And she walked by, I could see her outfit in a blur go by when the two actors are talking at the table, the main characters with the lines or whatever. And then they show her walk again, do the same walk, because that was her cue as background. And they show her walking by where you can see her full figure. And I just fell out laughing because I was like, oh snap, that's so-and-so, because I know her from these other things she does. And she's got her own fame. I mean, she's also a singer and stuff. Man, forgive me for not knowing her name like that, because I like to shout people out, you know, and help them get they just do as artists. But she just to see that, I'm saying, the main point I'm saying is, it got me because I'm like, man, we all working. Like, at the time this was shot, she was already, you know, kind of somebody. She ain't know nobody by no means. But yet, she wasn't too big-headed to be background on Insecure. It was like, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. We back, let's let it settle in. Let me get that signal back, check all the frequencies, make everything right, what it need to be. All right, y'all. So as I was saying, right? Okay, y'all. All right. Yes, and you don't stop. Her name is Brittany Iona Clemens. All right, look her up on IMDb, or just look, you know, Google her. But yeah, Brittany Iona Clemens. Shout out to her. Yeah, I done gave the full government name because I went to IMDb, because otherwise I wouldn't know it like that. But I know her when I see her, you know what I'm saying? And she's done a lot of work for Big Ja. Look him up, know his channel, and follow him here on YouTube. Dude is a legend, well into the millions for years now, as far as his subscribers and everything. And he's got a lot. He does sketch comedy stuff mostly, but he does some drama too. He got some serious drama, street drama type stuff he did. He's from LA via San Diego, and just a Cali dude, you know what I'm saying? He got a lot of Cali connections. Real big dude, football player type build and everything. I don't even know if he ever played. I think he did. I can't remember. And he makes a lot of, like, if you like the movie Friday, you'll love Big Ja. If you like Boomerang, if you like any of the classic 90s black comedies and even serious movies, because this is his favorite genres that he based all his stuff off of, you'll love his work. And that, I mean, just across the board. I mean, even with horror stuff, not so much that, but I'm saying you could include anything that was back in the day, from Boys in the Hood, Menace to Society, the funnier stuff like Friday, How to Be a Player, the 5 Heartbeats, serious stuff into, documentary style, historic stuff, but mostly really fun, silly, everyday slice of life, dating life, being single, relationship stuff. Again, relationship goes in the art life, as we say here at ONYXCON. That type of stuff, because a lot of the people will be creatives too, and they're sharing that, what it is for us when you're creative, and how it's just different out here, man. It's way different. It's way different for us than most people, and some people take it for granted because they're not in our shoes, so they just assume everybody's doing the same 9 to 5, living for the weekend. Man, we living for the everyday, because every day is a struggle to make sure you got it, and you never know if until you got something to float on. You don't float like everybody else. You ain't stable like everybody else. You gotta stay in the grind, so to speak, until it happens, and that's how this is. That's how this is. That's why every time I go live, most of the time when I go live, if I'm lucky enough to have a day where I can take off and just do me for ONYXCON's sake, and I go live and I show y'all that process, then cool. But otherwise, we out here. What you see, I got on this vest. And I don't mind wearing it because I love to represent all the other workers who are doing what I'm doing, and I want them to feel like, okay, I see you, bro. People look at numbers. People look at what you do. They listen to what you got to say. They try to add you up. No one will ever have the equal sign on me or you or anybody. But for what we allow you to have this little piece of our existence and speak to you, people can look at my numbers and more importantly, go past YouTube and look up what ONYXCON has already done before we were ever known on YouTube. Like when we were doing the convention and the legacy that I have built in Atlanta, Georgia and abroad. Yeah. And then add that with everything I've done since COVID, since everything that happened that changed how we do our programming and how we focused on everything online and made it, like I say, a true network. This is a multi-platform, true network, media network, okay? Edutainment-based entertainment and education from the artistic perspective, right? And people gonna see that 1,500 plus and say, oh man, okay, all right, well, hell, if I just started my YouTube and you only got like 20 or 50 or not even 100 yet, you gonna feel what I'm saying, you know what I mean? Especially if you are an artist and you trying to figure it out and you got the odd jobs too, you trying to see you can cut that off at some point and just focus on the creative. We about showing you, and also just celebrating people who make it like that. That's why I don't mind showing out these artists I'm talking about, because from Issa Rae to Big John to the sister I just mentioned, Iona, all those people, and so many more, everybody associated with them, they did it. They did all of, if they were not where they are right now and they were just starting, I'm pretty sure Issa would have a YouTube channel, much like the one she had before, but without the movies yet, if she wasn't making them yet, or if she was just starting, and she would be doing all these odd jobs because her show reflects that she did it. She showed that she worked for this nonprofit teaching kids. I thought, man, you talking about stuff that's literally my life. I started with teaching kids in Fulton County art. That was my first main job. And then that became working with senior citizens. So I know what that is. And because of those connections of doing that so long is what gave me the venue ability to work within the county and do the first ONYXCONs and all the ONYXCONs. Like, it's some real stuff, y'all. For real, that you see on these shows. And as people say, I don't like the phrase because I don't think it's broad enough, but I understand the phrase. When people say for the culture, I just say, well, what one person calls the culture, I can't necessarily say it's my culture, because they're going to eventually do something I don't do, say something I don't say or don't agree with, and then that's not my culture. So I say for the cultures, because where we intersect, and we give each other respect and we keep it pushing. But other than that, you do you, I'm gonna do me for sure. You ain't gotta worry. I don't need permission to do me. I'ma always do me, and you gonna see. We gonna get the glory, y'all. We gonna get the glory. We gonna get the glory, not the gory. That's another one of my phrases. I'm gonna drop them all on you today, because for real, it would behoove you. It would behoove you to listen and learn. Shout out to, this is another one. I woke up on this morning. Before I got into Issa's show, I was watching the homie Ace Live. Shout out to Ace. He just go by Ace now mostly, but you know, I just remember the full old title that he used to mostly use when he say Ace Live. But brother Ace out there in Philippines, not to say he's still there, more than likely he's not, but we're getting the footage now. And man, he was feeding Asian elephants at this beautiful reserve for them, a special sanctuary for rescued elephants out in Thailand. I'm sorry, Philippines. And or was it Thailand? Is he in Philippines? I think he's in Philippines. And that was dope. That was hella dope. I mean, I've seen him do stuff like that before. I almost thought it was something I'd already seen, because I was like, ain't I seen you with elephants before? He's like, I said, no, maybe I don't think I have seen this. I realized, no, it's brand new. He just dropped this one. It was dope. And it's inspiring. It's the kind of stuff I want to do. It's the kind of stuff I love to do. I love outdoors. I love nature. I love the rest of nature. You know what I'm saying? Being out there and seeing them kind of just to have that kind of opportunity, man, where it ain't no circus or nothing. It's like animals in their real habitat, and you know, they're being taken care of, yes, by human interaction, but you know, it's nothing. There's no torture or nothing going on. Like, these animals are happy. They getting fed. I mean, that's all they were doing. They was just they eating and getting bathed and taking pictures with people who just keep fawning over them and touching them and telling them how beautiful they are. I'm like, you know, hey, they chilling. They got the good life, right? But yeah, Ace doing his thing, man. And it's inspiring, you know. And I'm gonna tell y'all something. Every time I watch videos like that, I've been playing. But all that is where I am. And like, you know, Ace, what I love about his story, again, people not hiding their truth, not just getting out on social media and fronting and acting like overnight they got rich and then yelling at everybody else talking about get your money up and y'all broke and you just need to bootstrap and all that old bullshit kind of conversation. Like, some real love talk to people instead of disrespectful talk, where he's shown and talked about how he used to, you know, he grew up in Miami, came up with, you know, his very humble beginnings, loves his mom to death because that was his anchor. You know, he had the single parent home situation. Not saying that like that's gotta be that way, that just happened to be his scenario, because, you know, it's not my scenario, but I always sympathize with people who it is, especially when they do well in life, and don't let that be a crutch for anything ugly happening to their, you know, way they want to function in the world. You know, this brother made something positive out of himself, no matter what his circumstances, you feel? So that's another reason why I follow Ace so much, and I love what he does, man. That brother I done seen Ace do some amazing stuff, like multiple times, feed a whole barrio, like off in Colombia. I think he was in Colombia, went to the hood, fed the whole neighborhood. I was like, God, lead this brother, you know? All kind of stuff, man. He's just that dude, man. Ace is that dude. But I really love the fact that he showed how he used to do, he may have done construction too, but he did warehouse work. That's what it was. He had a warehouse job. Like right before he finally made the decision that he was gonna start living abroad, living his dream, and go 100% into YouTuber. And that's it. Like, I'm gonna live off of YouTube. I'm gonna make this thing my life. For now anyway. This is that stage in life. I'm going for it. And he's winning. Like, it worked. And so I'm just like, and that's been my inspiration, him and others especially. And I always shout him out for that, because the day I meet him, I'm gonna tell that brother, you know I've said this, but I want you to hear it from me, brother. You inspire me. And this is a younger brother than me. He's younger than me. Ace, like, what is Ace? I heard him say on one of his interviews, he's 41 now. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to turn into that next decade. You know, we'll just put it like that. You feel? So yeah, I'm older than bro, but I still look up to this young brother for what he's accomplished, man, because he's doing it the way I want to do it I want to do it in my own way. I don't want to do nothing I do will ever be like anybody else. But the kind of stuff he's doing, yes, I love it. It fuels my tank when I see his videos. Like, yo, look at this, man. This is what I'm talking about. This is what's possible. This is that life. Yeah, y'all. Yes, y'all. See that sky? That's what I was telling y'all about, how the clouds are coming. Clouds definitely coming. So it's gonna rain again today, I can tell. It was so bright, but when the sun get covered up by those, change the situation pretty quickly. So it's going to things later, I can tell. Maybe probably before they even get dark. But as I was saying, man, you know, and I don't mind shouting out my people. It's about we're a platform for exposure, especially for those who deserve it. You know, if you got an amazing concept of something that fits into one of the elements, as I like to call them, get in touch. But I'm gonna tell you now, don't do it if you ain't subscribed. Don't do it if you ain't coming. Like, how am I helping you and you ain't helping me? If I can't breathe, but you asking me for my air, like, where they do that at? We can't, you know what I mean? Because that happens. It's so ridiculous, and I'll just ignore it at this stage in life. I used to take time and explain. I don't explain a damn thing no more. If I got people on Instagram to this day, hit me up in the inbox. They want to get a repost. They know we got that 17,000 plus. And say what you will, what you want. We get numbers. People be looking at whatever I post. It's in the story or the main feed. And people want exposure and they want to get their stuff seen and get their business popping. But don't want to help you get what you, don't want to help you keep the lights on to even do that. Like, there's no logic in it, people. There's no logic in it. If I can't function, if I can't get to the point where I'm no longer doing anything else but honest, every day when I wake up, just think of more ways to be creative with this entity I've put my life into since 2009. Then, if you don't see that, then you're just not my audience. That's all, like I said earlier about people who are not subscribers. You're not part of the Monetization Nation. You're irrelevant. If you're a part of the equation, you can see the light. You understand the mission. You understood the assignment. You know, all the slang you want to put with it. You standing on 10 toes down with me. Whatever you got to say to make you feel cool enough to do it. Push the damn subscribe button and stay regular. Like, literally come around and watch and love it, like it, show that you're here, and then hit the DMs and show it receipts. Like, yo, I want you to see screenshots. I follow you here, I follow you there. I watched all of this. I love that. Give me give me reader comprehension, viewer comprehension. Talk about something you saw in the video so I can know, oh, he or she really did watch this, because only somebody who sat through it would have known that. You know, I even had a contest I did once upon a time. I'm gonna bring it back when I get enough people who actually do what I'm asking you to do right now. Like I'm saying, check in, holla, hit the DMs on Instagram or on Fanbase. Let us know, hey, I'm one of the real ones, Joseph, man, I'm with you. Make sure you know how to speak well and write well, because can't be no weird language I don't know what the hell you saying, okay? Because all that gets dismissed. But if you speaking clear enough English for me to understand where you coming from, not a bunch of text talk that don't make sense, or keep saying you're without the apostrophe and the RE. I mean, all of those stuff people do. Bro, get out the road, man. Oh my gosh. Anyway, there's construction work on the side. He not even paying attention. He walking damn near in the road. I tell you, people. You get nothing but respect. All we do is reciprocate. So you give the right energy, you're gonna get the right energy. You show us love, we're gonna show you love. It's simple and plain, man. It's simple and plain. My format don't change. Anybody who know me for real know. Whatever I say, I am it. That is it. They get the love and they see it. Go back and look at my video showing all those artists that were in the artist tables vending at MomoCon. Go watch that. Watch all the MomoCon content, because it's really, the numbers should be much better on that. They're decent, but they should be a lot better, especially that one video. That one and the one with the cosplayers. Oh my gosh. I don't understand. Like, what do you want from me? Like, what do y'all want? Like, ooh, I don't know. Maybe I need to take myself out the picture on the one. I'm not gonna take a damn thing out, because I like that picture, but the one I got with the two finest honeys that I met at Momo, literally they got the crown. They were the two finest darlings that I met when I was out there. It was so beautiful. And I interviewed one of them particularly. And so I did a pic with both of them, and I love that picture, so I made that the thumbnail or whatever. It's nice, really clear, crisp, close up. But I know the psychology more and more. I study the numbers of things, and I know that there's more men on YouTube than there are women. And I've said this before, and I'll say it again. A lot of dudes, it's pathetic, but they some haters. Like, dudes can't stand to see you happy with all these fine women and good life, and if they don't feel they're attractive, and they don't emit attractive energy that attracts lovely ladies to even say hi to them and have a word with them or whatever. So for you to do that effortlessly and all that, oh man, that's not something they want to. I mean, if they do watch, they watching frustrated because they're like, man, how you do that? I don't do that. Well, it's called decency. It's called not just looking good, smelling good, having a good attitude. It's an energy, y'all. It's an energy. It's an energy. Yeah, I can show you better than you watch my videos. You might learn how to do it. You know, it's called friendliness, but you got to be friendly to give friendliness. You can't fake it. You know, you can't be an asshole. You can't be a troll and then come out in real life and think somebody want to talk to you. Nobody want to talk to your punk ass. Like, what you think? So I know why the numbers be how they be sometimes. But then I also know when the right people come along, they gonna love every bit of it because they can relate. They move the same way and they get the same kind of energy out of everybody they deal with. Good energy. Yeah. Yeah. As Red Alert, DJ Red Alert be saying, yeah. Shout out DJ Red Alert, man. You know what I'm saying? See, don't take nothing to show love, man. Shout people out. Shout out is a way of showing love to people. Because you're saying, I love your energy. Your energy has brought something special to my life. You know, I get nostalgia when I hear certain people in hip hop and other music that I love, like the little phrases they have and sayings and all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Like, it's nostalgia. It does. It's a thing. It's a beautiful thing. So, you know, we're going to keep on doing what we do, y'all, regardless of whatever else is going on. And as I said, like, a lot of positive people who are already self-confident or working on their confidence, whatever, they don't have no problem sharing love. They don't have no problem shouting people out. They don't have no problem subscribing. They don't have no problem putting positive comments. They don't have no problem watching daily. That's what they there for the good stuff. They don't sit around watching miserable news. I mean, you know, you gotta keep up with what's going on, but they're not gonna wallow in that. They're not the highest percentage of stuff they watch daily. They're gonna watch stuff that makes them feel good, that reminds them life is adventurous or theoretical, something to make you think and about another way of looking at things and all that. Like, I got one, I just haven't started it yet, but well, technically I have started it because I think I did a live where I did mention it and broke down my thoughts on it, but I didn't make a formal video yet about this new Black Panther situation. And if y'all know what I'm about to say, like, I'm talking about the comic books, right? And so a lot of people are upset because there's a new Marvel comic book that's supposed to be in an alternate universe. So they keep saying that, or some people keep saying that to make it clear it should not affect the general canon of the Marvel universe or whatever, because it's not actual. It's actual in one of the other multiverse, but that's the thing about having multiverses, as they do in DC and in Marvel Comics and most comic book companies. Everybody loves that multiverse thing, because then you can do all the what ifs. And Marvel was the first to call an actual book What If. They have a What If book, and then, you know, DC and everybody else was doing it too. But Marvel started that more or less back in the day, in the 80s, I believe, when the first What If came. I can't remember when. 80s or 90s, I forget. But, you know, it's always saying, I mean, anything in comics is a what if concept, but this is like, after we made this universe with all these weird characters, all these superpowers and crazy magic and all kind of stuff can happen that can't happen in reality, let's do even bigger what if based on all of what that is. And that's when you get to this kind of story. And it's yeah, it's I bought the first issue because I wanted to at least have it in my collection. Who knows? I'm sure it's gonna go up in value or go plummet in value because of people pissed off about what it is, and rightfully so for my black folks, because we like, look, man, y'all don't understand what y'all doing with this entity and what it means to so many people who loved this character. And even though some people are saying, well, they've done it with other characters and you didn't blink an eye, there's been plenty of white characters they made black and blah, 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 blah. Yeah. But it's not integral culturally to the character's identity. Nick Fury's not, his cultural background when he was just a white character didn't play a huge significant role in who he was as a special agent for S.H.I.E.L.D. It's just, hey, he's the leader of S.H.I.E.L.D. He's a badass. He's like a Bond special agent spy type guy. That could be any ethnicity. And that's what they did with it. That's why it became Nick Fury, and they literally groomed the character to try and get Samuel Jackson to play him. And it was on purpose. It worked. When Samuel got aware of it, he tells a story about he was in Golden Apple comic. Shout out Golden Apple. I interviewed one of the owners of it about 2 years ago in LA. If you haven't seen my LA footage, look up ONYXCON. Say Onyx. Anytime I'm talking about something, because I can't remember all my titles, all you gotta do is just the general topic and ONYXCON, and it will. I've learned it will pop up. The algorithm is pretty good for that. So if you put in ONYXCON Los Angeles or ONYXCON LA, you're gonna see when I was in LA last time and all this content I did out there. But especially, I went to Golden Apple Comics, and I looked up on a day when one of the owners was up in there, and we had a really good, candid interview. Really good. But anyway, you know, Samuel Jackson, the legend, told a story of how he was in, not the one that I went to because they had to get a new store, but the previous Golden Apple down Melrose. It's still on Melrose, but it's a smaller location than the way it used to be. And he said he looked on the shelf and saw this book. He was like, that guy looks like me. And he picked it up and was like, that is me. Like, who is this they want me to be? You know, it's obvious they trying to pitch this to me without. And so his people got in touch with Marvel, and Marvel was like, yes, we would actually love, you know, kind of a, please don't sue us. We did it in an homage type thing. We hope you like it. And he's like, I love it. He's like, well, what is it? And it was like, well, we got this character we're trying to reinvent, and we want this image of him through you, and blah, blah, blah. Rest is history, man. Rest is history. But that's different. That's completely different from Black Panther, y'all. That's different. That's different. This is the leader of a fictional but yet relevant African nation, most intellectually astute, most highly technologically advanced on the planet. You got all these positive things to share with the truth about how Africa really is at its best, because that's what Wakanda is. It's a culmination of all the best of the best nations and the real nations into a fictional country, Wakanda. That's what it really is. So to take that and, you know, make it a thing about swapping ethnicity of a leader, and not, it's not as simple as, oh, what if we made him white? No, it's not that simple, man. This ain't that simple. And to make it more insulting, my biggest gripe with it is, aside from the idea of let's make a quote unquote white, okay, white is a construct. Only way you can even say somebody's white is based on these very, very narrow and depending on who you ask with people, perceptions of what whiteness is. It's all got to do with looks. It's all about shell. It has nothing. It's about complexion. It's about hair texture. It's about eye color. It's about lip size, nose size, shape. It's about all that kind of stuff. Body type. You know, it's all these different things. All these specific little things. Oh, well, you know, if you got too much of that, then you're leaning more back toward, oh, that's still black. Well, that might be Latin. Or, well, damn, what are you? You confuse yourself because you get caught up in your own bullshit. It's bullshit. It's a construct. That's what the word is. Race is a construct. It is made up. It is constructed. It's not real. The only thing real is how you really think, how you really are, what you really believe is who you are in your essence and your genetics. Because can't nobody take your genetics. I don't care what nobody say. Well, I don't see it. No fucking cares what you can see in me. I'm French Canadian. You can't see it. It don't matter if you can't see it. I know I am. I got English in me somewhere. I got some other white in me construct. I don't even know what the hell it is, but it's in there. All right? I also got Native American. Not too sure about that. Got some really strong speculation based on my family tree. So I go with that because it makes sense geographically. I say, well, more than likely, if that's there on that side of the family, it's this group. And on that side of the family, it's this other group. So I often say, yeah, I believe I have Mohawk, and I believe my Southern roots I have, because Mohawk, that's my New York people. I got that in my family, okay? Upstate New York. I'm talking about sure enough New York, state. And then I'm talking about border of Canada, for real, for real. And then I got people from South Georgia, all right? And I know in that region, as far as the native groups that were dominant, it would have more than likely been Muskogee or Creek, okay? That nation. So I claim that. I said, yeah, I'm gonna claim that, because it makes sense. Now, everybody in the family says that's a possibility, but ain't nobody too sure about what, when, and what. If it is, that's what it is, more than likely. I just deal with facts, not, if I'm gonna base anything on speculation, it's gonna be factual speculation, not stuff that don't make no kind of sense. So my issue with Panther and what they're doing in the comic is, when I saw the final page that got everybody most upset, where basically you have a son of T'Challa in this other multiverse version, who he had with supposedly a white woman he met somewhere, which they didn't make that clear in my opinion. I don't think that was well developed in what I read. I didn't get that from it. I got all these other relationship things that were going on for him. And when they showed the woman, I'm like, to this day, to this moment, I'm thinking to myself, is that who they meant? Again, the perception of white. There's a woman, okay, first he was married to Storm, which happened in the regular Marvel universe. Storm and Black Panther did get married, if you didn't know. That actually happened. T'Challa married Storm. He had also married, he had other relationships, but that was one of the biggest ever and most important. Let's just say that, okay? So, Queen Aurora, AKA Storm, and Black Panther T'Challa. Storm in this dimension dies. That was the true love of his life. He did a shrine to her in Wakanda. Then he gets remarried to another lady. This other woman he gets married to was supposed to be somewhere in Europe, but when they show the woman, the way the artist depicted her, the way he drew her, and the way he's drawing other people, because I'm a visual artist, so I understand every one of us have a language to the way we draw and the way we depict things. Even that can be confusing for some people, because I know white artists who love black folk and draw everybody with certain features, even if they're drawing white folk, because they love to draw black people so much. Or vice versa. Black folk that love to draw white folk so much that when they draw black people, sometimes the black people don't look what most people think is black, because they, and all of those stuff, right? So I'm looking at this, and like I said, I'm gonna have to do a real review of it, because I'm gonna show y'all the book and everything when I go into it, for real, for real. Hit the comments if you know you want to see that, and that's gonna make me speed up the process on that. And I'll do a true flip through analyzation of that book, because I didn't get anything from the pages that depict this lady that told me she's supposed to be white Anglo-Saxon. I don't see that at all in what was in these pages. But then she has this son, and then he comes out basically looking like, oh man, I'm trying to think of this actor. Oh my gosh, I can see his face and I can't think of his name right now. Damn, it'll come back to me. Yeah, but yeah, y'all. So, like, I don't know how many of y'all have seen what I'm talking about. There's a bunch of articles about it. Of course, it's shock value too, and that's the other reason I know they did it. I don't care what they say. I read the final statement from the authors. Oh, we've been working on this for years, and yeah, okay. But why now? Why are you bringing it out now with all the racial tensions and garbage going on in this crazy ass country? Because you want the hype from it. You know it's gonna start some stuff. So you figure, let's get this money off of some triggering stuff. That's all. That's as simple as that. I don't care what. People gonna go get the thing, so they got something to talk about. And it works, because hell, I bought it for that reason, and I wasn't necessarily, at first I almost wasn't gonna buy it, but I said, man, okay. For the sake of historical purposes, editorial purposes, and hell, we do content where we analyze and do reviews and things, so it's gonna be a tax write-off for me. So I was like, bump it. All right, cool. ONYXCON gonna give our perspective on this, and like I said, this is just a teaser of what I'm saying right now. I got way more to say, and it's just one of them things where, like, when I finally looked at the page and I'm looking at the way the character was depicted, my biggest You know, and I'm gonna get real analytical later on it when I got time, but I'll just say this. If first of all, human genes are amazing. There have been children born from two some darker skinned mother and father and give birth to a very light child. Now, first of all children come out for the most part lighter than the tone they will eventually be generally in life. And I say generally because hell, when the sun, if you know anything about your real genes and how people's skins are, some people's skin, they can get a tan easy. Some people can't tan easily. Some people burn, some people, all of that. So, but most people, when you're born as a child, as a baby, because you're in the womb and it's like a water tank for 9 months, it makes the 9 months, sometimes earlier, whatever. I'm saying you're going to come out paler than you're going to be in a matter of a few months later, sometimes weeks later. You just, you'll start changing. And I've seen that with all my relatives, all my, babies in my family and all that. It's just, this is a fact of life, right? But irregardless of that, scientifically, okay, and the probability, when you see a character the way they drew this quote unquote new, again, fictional character, whatever the case, but an artist who knows, as I say, I'm a visual artist myself. I draw, I do portraiture. So it's different when somebody just has a very stylistic style, they do cartoony stuff only, versus somebody who can really draw. I draw to the level where I have illustrations where when I pull up my drawings, the camera, the phone will, how it puts that little square over a face and say, do you want to identify who this is? Yeah, I get likeness to that level. So I know what I'm talking about when I say this artist can draw to that level. And even in this very stylized look that he chose for the comic, he depicted what would easily be seen as a very pale complected, European mostly, ethnic featured, white guy with slick, this is very important too, straight golden hair of the so-called whitest of white, if you will, right? Because even amongst white folks, some of them will be like, if they're on some extreme mess, not anybody who's just a human being and not tripping off of every little part of a person's makeup and labeling as one thing being more than another and all that old shit. But white supremacists be on some, they want to, like the whole concept of Nazis and everything, they wanted to create a super, it's so psychotic because Hitler, his damn self, was not blonde, but they wanted to create this super race of white Anglo-Saxons that had blonde hair and blue eyes. So to make this character that, and then give, like I said, give the shock value of when he takes off the mask in the famous panel, oh, it's my kid. He's like, 20-something years old, I guess. I'm like, this is the goofiest ish ever. Like, it's not even, if this woman, the woman, like I said, in the show she's not even blonde. So I'm like, for the panel I remember, she's not blonde. Where did these genes come from? Yes, they can come far down the line. All of this is possible. There's even groups of black people in the Papuan Island area, the archipelagos, that are naturally born, brown skin, features that most anybody would associate with people of West, Central, and other main parts of Africa where they say, oh, they're the show enough Negroid features, all of that conversation, okay? But they have straighter hair, they have blonde hair, they can have orange hair, they can have all kind of color hair, and the textures can be all kind of ways, from afro to straight and wavy and all that stuff. Got you. But this kid, like I say, in a comic book world where you're playing too much with fantasy, this is just a straight up white dude with blonde hair slicked back saying, I am king now. I'm like, boy, y'all trying to start a damn riot in the fandom, because it's like, it's just not even, it's not the equivalent of when Marvel did stuff like Storm is Thor or What If, because she has the same powers, it's the same representation within a different culture, okay? Norse culture through the Marvel lens. Storm represents multiple African concepts of divinity when it comes to a goddess of the sky, of the heavens, of storms and clouds, and okay, yeah, it all makes sense. But until you go flip it to a way that's like, okay, that's not even possible to me to be making fun. Y'all trying to start shit just to make some money. Period. We'll talk about it later. Hit the comments, y'all. Let me know what y'all think.